This last topic I want to spend the rest of our time with, because launching 2 new services in ACN is huge. You've seen the launch of new services in ACN. You've seen us come into different industries. We're not just launching 1 service, we're launching 2. So I want to start with a little bit of vision building, because I think out of anybody that we could have had on this call, you have one of the best ideas of what's possible when ACN launches into an industry. So can you share with us some of the stories and some of the ideas of what's possible when we get into a brand new industry?
Oh my God, yeah. Heck yeah, I would love to talk to you guys about that. And just so you know, they didn't tell me anything they're going to ask me. So you're just getting me unfiltered, guys. Sorry about that. But look, it is not about the launch. It's about the launch leading up to the launch. And this is the most important thing I can teach you. So let me give you an example. Back in, the day, many decades ago, utilities started to open up in certain places, just like it's not everywhere in Canada. It's not everywhere in the United States either. So utilities opened up in New York. There's a lot of people in New York City, right? A lot of people in the state of New York, and they did really, really well. And then we found out utilities were going to open up in Maryland. And I was just going, oh my gosh, this is everything, because I wanted to build 100 miles an hour before it launched. Why? Because the vision we painted was this: go ahead and get yourself started and get a customer base and build a team that gets a customer base. So let's think baby stuff, right? If you had 10 customers and you had a total of 10 people in your team, they all have 10 customers, that's 100 customers. So the day the new service happens, you have 100 customers that day that already trust you, or they're already on something else. So it's easy for you to go back and go, I know you've been enjoying this, like we now have this other service. But if you wait until the launch comes, then you're in a position where all of a sudden you're trying to scramble and build everything. And meanwhile, everybody else is signing up all the customers in the area. So we had this conversation here where I live, in Maryland is nothing like New York City or the state of New York. And I said, we're going to just crush it. So everybody we met with, we're like, you have to get in now. We had this same conversation. Get your customer, get them on anything. I don't care. Just get them on a service so they know you, they like you, they're happy with the service, and build a daggone team. Because you have 100 people in your team and they all get 10 customers. If you have 500 people, like, what's the number? What if your customer base is 20 customers per IBO or 30? How big can you make this? And when Maryland opened, we grew in utilities and launched with more customers than New York did, because of that conversation. And I remember right before it launched, we had the last minute pre-launch before Energy was opening, and we rented out this ballroom, and we had everybody, this is the last chance for you to get in and be in on day one on the ground floor. You don't want to come in late. You want to be in on day one. We filled the entire ballroom. People were standing in the halls. We had to go up to the hotel and ask if they could take a divider wall out and let other people go into an overflow room. And we hadn't even sold 1 service. It's the lead up where all the magic happens. When the service comes, it's great. But if you're just standing there by yourself, then it's not that great. You miss the whole party.
Folks, you heard it from a senior vice president. It's now is the time. It's not the time to wait. It's not the time to just sit around and think, well, I'll see when the service launches, or what the price is, or what the options are, or the details, or blah, blah, blah. Now, I know that if, again, I'm putting myself in the mindset of maybe an ETL, an RC, an RD, they want market share, they're trying to build, they're stressed out, they're doing everything they know how to do, but they can't do it 24 hours a day. So outside of building a team of people, inviting and showing this opportunity, if an IBO has some spare time that they can allocate to building maybe some skills or putting some effort into training, what are some of the skills, mindset, things an IBO can do with their spare time outside of maybe doing a presentation or calling somebody to see this information?
That's it. No wonder you guys are such great leaders. You ask the smartest questions, I have to just say. Look, obviously, your number one thing is to build, to present, to share the opportunity, all of that stuff. But you'll get better at it if you work on yourself as a person. Personal development is everything. And, years and years ago, there was a point where I hit the nastiest plateau ever. I mean, no matter what I did, this was me. I couldn't go up. I couldn't move. And everybody around me was getting promoted and doing this and doing that. And I was just so stuck. It was so frustrating. And you have to be really careful if that happens to you, because you can fall into the trap of bad self-talk. And that's the worst thing that can ever happen to you. If you start asking yourself really bad questions, let me give you an example. Why is this happening to me? How come I'm the only person who's not getting promoted? Why are they all doing so well? How come they're so talented? Do they just know more people? Is it because I'm not popular? You know, all of those questions are what I call a negative based question. And that means that you're asking a question that your brain, it operates like a computer, your brain will naturally generate an answer that's logical. So if you say, well, why isn't it happening for me? Your brain's going to go, well, I guess maybe you're not good enough, or you're not going to ever get there. And it's going to spit out a crappy answer. If you ask your brain something like, how is my struggle going to make me a better leader? How can I find somebody who went through this already and learn from them? What advice can I get from what I just experienced? If I could go back and do that all over again, where do I think it went wrong? Who could guide me in being a better presenter? Who could guide me? If you ask questions like that, your brain's going to go, oh, this person would be great. This is an incredible book for you to read. And it's going to find resources to help you get better. So if you struggle, you have to work on personal development, because that's what trains your brain in how to talk to yourself. And honestly, you are your best or worst enemy. If you psych yourself out and you don't believe you're going to make it, you will create that truth for yourself in life. And if you go, you know what, it's just a setback, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to win no matter how long it takes, then that will be the truth for you. So I am a machine at personal development, because I learned this when I got to a point where I was stuck. And I had read a book back then, and it was interesting. It was a story in this book about a woman who was in like Mary Kay or some kind of network marketing business. I don't remember what it was. This was a long, long time ago, but she got stuck and she decided to do personal development every single day religiously. And then she had this huge breakthrough. So here's what I used to do. I would get up in the morning and, I'm a high maintenance woman, so I got to shower and do my hair and makeup and all that kind of stuff. But men, you shower and shave and whatever you guys got to do too. So I would take something into the bathroom and turn it on really loud. And while I was showering and doing all that stuff, I would listen first thing in the morning. And the reason I say that is because immediately your brain's trying to figure out if you're going to have a good day or a bad day. Like if you get out of bed and you trip over your sneakers, you're going, oh, it's going to be one of those days. But if you get out in the sun shining, you go like, oh, it's going to be that kind of a day. So you're getting your brain into a positive place. And then after listening to that, when you go speak to people, you will come across as a very positive, engaging person that people want to be around. So it'll alter the way you interact with everyone. And I found my goal was to do it for 30 straight days all those years ago. And if I didn't meet the goal and I missed a day, I had to start the clock all over again and do another 30. And by the time that happened, then it just kind of became a thing. And after that, I broke through the plateau and did it. So find people on YouTube, or you can go on podcasts, or you can get books, or you can join, people do the Audible things, whatever it is, but listen to something every day and it will change your mindset and it'll change your results and it'll keep you from the devil of bad self-talk.
Man, I absolutely love that. I think Leanne is definitely speaking to somebody out there right now. All of us definitely, because I've cringe sometimes when I hear IBOs and what they say out of their mouth about themselves or about their business or about their situation. And it's just like Leanne said, bad input equals bad output. Bad questions in, you're going to get bad questions out. So, I can't encourage you enough. Right now is the time that you want to build ACN. We have 2 services launching. This is a really special time with our company.